So get in a comfy seat. And if it's comfortable to sit with your legs crossed, go ahead and do that. If not, find another comfortable seated position. You can even be in a chair if you like. Don't have to be on the floor or on the mat. I like to sit on something so I can raise my hips up a little higher than my feet. Let the knees drop down a little bit. It just helps me to sit taller. And since we really want to focus on keeping a tall spine and keeping it upright for that good posture, this can really help. You can also use a little rolled towel just beneath the tailbone. This really helps me too. I have a tendency to sort of roll into my low back. Having that towel there can help to provide a little extra support. So once you get here, go ahead and place the hands on the lap comfortably. If you want to place the palms open, that's a little bit more of a receptive position. If you'd rather be in more of a um, closed position where you're not receiving energy, but you're more focusing inward, go ahead and place the palms facing down on your lap. And then go ahead and close the eyes just gently. And then from here, we're just going to start noticing how our body feels first. And you can simply start to feel where your body is touching the surface beneath you. And just make note of those points in the body that are making contact with that surface. And then from there, you might want to take notice of the spine again. I already noticed that I was beginning to roll my shoulders forward just a bit. So just roll the shoulders up toward the ears and then back and down. And then reach the spine a tiny bit taller. You might even feel the navel draw in slightly as the abdominals engage just a bit to keep you in this more upright position. We don't want that to be a strain. We just want to keep the spine tall. And keeping the spine tall and the posture elongated through the spine helps to allow and support the movement of energy up and down the spine through the chakras, if you will. It just allows that energy to flow more easily so it doesn't get stuck. So we can allow more release of the things that need to go, and then we can retain the energy and allow it to flow, the energy that serves us well. You might also notice the clothing resting against your skin and how that feels. And then take notice of the temperature of the air against your skin. You might hear noises in the room around you or the building around you. You might even hear noises outside. And then you might begin to notice, if you can, hear the sound of your own breathing. And as you listen for that sound, you might also notice the physical sensations as your body expands when you inhale and fills up with air. And then as the air empties out of the lungs, how does the body respond to that exit of the breath? And just take note of that. Noticing how the chest may rise, the ribs expand, the belly expands as the inhale comes in and fills up the lungs. And then noticing how the body responds as the lungs empty and the air flows back out up through the throat and out through the nostrils. Let's take a few more breaths, just noticing whatever you feel as you breathe. And if the mind starts to wander, just bring it back to noticing the physical sensations of the inhale and the exhale. You may notice that as you bring your attention to your breath, it might naturally begin to slow and deepen just by bringing your attention to focus on the breath. Let's take 2 more full rounds of breath here. Just keeping the breathing pattern steady and smooth. Now I open every practice with the chant of Om because it honors the ancient yogic tradition. It also helps to stimulate our vagus nerve, which will naturally calm all of our major organ systems. And it also gives a bit of vibration from deep in the belly all the way up through the chest and into the head, which also helps with that movement of energy that I mentioned earlier. So after my next inhale, I will chant Om. You can join me if you like. Now just let the breath come back to whatever natural pacing is most comfortable. And then go ahead and open the eyes. And we're just going to start with some simple warming up in the joints and then the larger muscles of the body. So let's lift the arms as we inhale. You can also lift the chin, lift the chest slightly. And then slowly exhale as you press down with the hands. Now you can engage the muscles of the arms and hands as much as you want. Inhaling, raising the arms back up, lifting the chin, lifting the gaze. Slowly exhaling down, and you can also bring the chin down toward the chest as you exhale. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, we lift the arms. And exhale, we lower. This time, let's bring the fingertips down to our right. We're going to lift the left arm up on an inhale. And then take a little side bend over to the right on the exhale. So feel a nice stretch along the left side of the body. As we exhale, we'll take that arm down. Inhaling, lift the right arm. Exhaling, little side bend over to the left. Inhale as we come back up to vertical, and then we'll exhale as that arm comes down. Let's do that same movement. Lift the left arm on the inhale. Really reach up through the spine this time, and think of reaching up first, and then on the exhale, we reach over toward the right. Just notice if that feels any different this time. Let's take it over to the other side again. We'll lift that right arm on the inhale, reach up through the spine, and then take our little side bend. And then lower that right arm. This time we're going to lift both arms up again. And then we're going to twist over toward the right-hand side and just bring the fingertips down. Maybe they rest on the leg. Maybe they rest right behind the hip, whatever feels most comfortable. And then inhale as we lift the arms up, come to center. Exhale over to the left. Inhaling back up, take it over to the right. Keep this same movement going with your breath, inhaling as the arms lift and you come to center, and then exhaling as you twist to one side. A gentle twist, and maybe you look over toward that back shoulder if that feels okay for your neck. Last one on each side. And then both arms back to center once more. Let's lower the hands down again. And we're just going to place the hands on our legs, sit tall in the spine so you can feel yourself grow slightly taller. And then we're going to take a little forward bend here. So you might just bring the fingertips to the floor. If they don't reach, you might put a block in front of you or a thick book so that you can just hinge from the hips and lean forward a bit. So we're getting just a little bit of a stretch in the hips. Now, if you do have something and you want to come down onto that surface so you get a little bit more stretch, you can do that. If you're sitting in a chair, you may want to have the wall in front of you. You may want to have another chair in front of you or some other support so that you can place the hands there. Or you could also just use the hands on the legs. So this is a really gentle little stretch in the low back and across the hips. Let's walk the fingers back up. And then since I'm sitting on something, I'm going to come off of that support. Just move it out of the way. And then I'm going to bring my feet together. So the soles of my feet are going to touch. Now this may require the feet to be out in front, just kind of depending on how open the legs, the inner thighs are. It may feel better to bring the feet a little closer to you. Just decide what feels best. We want to sit tall, so if that means you hold on to the knees, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, you might walk the hands down to the shins or the ankles, maybe all the way to the feet, but only if that allows you to keep your spine flat. So we don't want to curve over toward the front. We're wanting again to hinge from the hips. So reach up through the spine and hinge from the hips, and just think of reaching your chest toward your toes. So this is a little more intense than that last stretch we took across the hips, also coming into the groin. And then from there, we're just going to slowly come back up. We want to keep that spine long again, no curvature there. From here, let's come onto our knees and sit on our heels. So we're going to move through coming onto the knees, raising the arms, and then coming back all the way down to a child's pose. So let's start sitting on the heels. If this is a lot for the knees, go ahead and bring a pillow or a bolster or something underneath the hips so that the knees aren't bent quite as much. If it feels okay to stay on the heels, go ahead and do that. We're going to rise up on our knees first. This is also a great place to pad the knees with a blanket if you need a little extra support beneath the knees. Raise the arms as you inhale. And then we're going to exhale as we come all the way back down to our child's pose and let the forehead just rest there. And then on an inhale, we'll press into the knees and shins, raise the arms back up. And then as we exhale, bring the arms all the way back down. Lowering into our child's pose. One more of these, just like that. Inhale as we rise up. And exhale as we come all the way back down, child's pose. And we're going to close our eyes when we get here this time. And really allow the arms and the shoulders to completely soften and let go. Feel the head press a little deeper into your mat. So really letting gravity pull us into that surface that we're resting on. With every exhale, just let go a little more here. Okay, this time, as we inhale, we're going to press into the legs, lift the arms up. And we're going to exhale, we're going to take a twist to the right and open the arms wide. Inhale, arms come up. And this time as we exhale, we'll take that same twist over to the left side. Inhale, arms come up. And exhale back down to child. So we're going to do that twice more. Rise up on the inhale. Open twist to the right on the exhale, opening the arms wide. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, twist to the left. And inhale, arms up. Exhale all the way to child. Drawing the chin in last and letting the forehead rest. Inhale all the way back up. Arms come up. We rise onto the knees. Exhale, take that twist over to the right. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, take that twist over to the left. Inhale, arms up. And exhale all the way back to child. We're going to take another rest here in this child's pose. Closing the eyes and feeling the unique experience of breathing in this contracted position. One more full breath cycle here. And then on an inhale, we'll rise up, lift those arms up over the shoulders. And then exhale, lower the hands down on either side of the body. Let's bring the hands back around to the bum. We're going to rest at the base of our palm, right against the top of the pelvis. So, knees are right beneath the hips. We should feel sturdy here. The hands are going to press a little bit into the back of the pelvis. And then we're going to roll the shoulders back and feel the shoulder blades and the elbows just come a little bit closer to one another. And then from there, we press those hands into the top of the pelvis. And we're just going to raise the gaze and open up the chest. So a little bit of a back bend just in the upper back here, really engaging the thighs. And just remembering to breathe here. And then we'll slowly come back to vertical with the spine. Inhale, raise the arms up. And exhale all the way back down to child once more. You might want to come into a wide knee child's pose this time so that the big toes come together. The knees are a little wider, so closer to the edges of your mat. And you can always come into this wide leg child's pose if it's more comfortable, if it gives you more room to breathe, if it just works better for your body. And always feel free to use any props to help make any part of the practice more comfortable, more supportive. Two more full breath cycles here. Let's extend the arms forward and come onto the forearms. Come onto the knees. Take both hands, come into a tabletop position, and we're going to move through tabletop, down dog, and child's pose. So curl our toes to get ready. Here we're going to start by lengthening through the crown of the head and the tailbone. I noticed my head was kind of falling down. We want to lengthen through the whole spine. Spread the fingers wide and grip into the fingertips so that you can provide a little more support there so that not all the support is right in the wrist. Take an inhale here. And then on an exhale, press the hips up so you can come to your down dog. Go ahead and pedal the feet there so that you are getting a nice stretch not only in the back of the calf, but all the way through the soles of the feet. And if it feels good to deeply bend one knee and press that opposite heel toward the mat, get a little extra lengthening in the calf muscle there. And then switch out the bend in the knee so the opposite leg gets that more intense stretch. But keep pedaling the feet if that feels better. Work to keep the spine long again so we don't have curvature in the spine. And then let's press into the balls of both feet, lift the heels up, and then press them both back and down. Take another inhale there. We're going to come back down to our tabletop. Inhale here. And then exhale to child. This time, let's just leave the arms out in front rather than bringing the hands back by the feet. Next inhale, we'll come to table. And exhale, lift the hips up to down dog. Inhale back to table. And exhale back to child. Let's move through that a couple more times. Inhale, table. Exhale up to down dog. Inhale to table. And exhale to child. If at any point this becomes uncomfortable, just come all the way down to child and rest there. Inhale, table. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, table. And exhale to child. You decide now if you want a wide-kneed child's pose. You want to bring the hands back by the feet or leave them extended forward. We're going to rest here for a few breaths. One more full breath cycle here. Let's reach the arms forward, come back to that table. Walk the knees toward the hands, just so that we can sit down on our bum. Go ahead and extend the feet out in front of you. And then bring the knees to bend. Hold on behind the knees, and we're just going to slowly roll down onto our back and bring our knees right in toward the chest and take a little rock. Don't worry about how close the knees come to the chest. We just want to have them coming toward the body, whatever distance feels most comfortable. And this should feel nice on the low back and the upper hips to give this little bit of massage here across the sacrum, across the back of the pelvis. And then let's drop the feet down so that the heels are right below the knees. And we're going to take a dynamic bridge pose here. Take a little adjustment here on my mic so that hopefully I don't muffle everything. So knees are right above heels. And we want to start this bridge by just tilting the pelvis so the tailbone lifts first and the low back naturally will touch down as we lift the tailbone slightly, tilting the pelvis. And then we're going to press into the heels and go ahead and lift the hips while you lift the arms. And then you will exhale down, back down to the mat. Let's do that twice more. Tilting the pelvis, lifting tailbone first, pressing into the heels, lifting hips and arms as we come all the way up. And then we slowly roll down, one vertebra at a time as we slowly exhale, controlling the breath, controlling the movement. One more lift and one more lower. Inhale up. And exhale, lowering back down. Take a breath when you get there, letting go completely. Relax all those muscles that you just used in the low body. Relax the arms. And then we're going to walk our feet away from one another to the edges of our mat. Take an inhale once you get there. So the feet are a little wider than the hips. And on an exhale, just let the knees fall over toward the right side of the room. And then as you inhale, bring the knees back up through the center. And we're going to let them rock over toward the left side. So keep that same movement going right along with your breath. Inhaling, the knees come up to center. And then they rock over to the right on the exhale. They come up through center, inhaling, and then rock over to the left on the exhale. So this is a smooth movement, and our breath needs to be smooth with it. Since this is a calming, cooling practice, we want to keep the pacing slow, very mindful. You can close your eyes here if you like. Now, the next time that your knees are over on the right-hand side, I want you to let them rest there for just a moment. And if it feels good for your body today, you might extend your right arm directly out from, your left arm directly out from your left shoulder, or you may even reach the left arm up overhead. Just decide what feels best for your body. Again, if you'd like to close the eyes here, go ahead and do that. One more full breath cycle here. Really allowing gravity to do the work here. So the legs are just relaxing into this twisted position. Should be a gentle twist of the low back. Okay, so let's bring that left arm back toward the body first, and then draw your navel in just slightly, and then rock the knees back to center, and we'll take them over to the left. We're going to rest them on the left-hand side this time. Once they get there, allow the legs to release and relax into that position, and then decide where you would like your right arm to extend, either directly out to the side or maybe overhead. Just decide what feels right for you today, and then let the arms release and relax. Completely letting go here into this gentle twist. If at any point the twist becomes uncomfortable, you can come back to knees at the center with them bent toward the ceiling. And with every exhale here, just try to release and relax a little bit more. Noticing if there are any points of tension that you can consciously release. One more full breath cycle here. Let's bring those. Well, first let's bring the right arm back toward the body. Draw the navel in just slightly. Rock the knees to center. And then go ahead and extend your legs out. Now, if you happen to have a nice bolster or a nice pillow that you can bring beneath your knees, that is a great thing to do as we come into our shavasana here. Bringing that support beneath the knees is a really nice way to also support the low back. If you do not have that, you can roll up a blanket. You can come to just extend the legs out on your mat. This is just extra comfortable. So make sure that the feet are a little wider than the hips. Then the heels are wider than the hips and the feet can just naturally fall open. You can place the arms at a comfortable distance from your body and allow the palms to face upward toward the ceiling. Notice if the neck is long and extended. We want it to be long and extended. If the eyes aren't closed already, go ahead and gently close the eyelids. And with every exhale, I want you to feel some muscles sink a little deeper, soften a little more. You can also just imagine with that exhale any toxins that need to leave the body, the mind, or the spirit, making their exit. Allowing all that gunk that needs to go to be released. We're going to spend a few moments here in Shavasana, a few minutes. If it helps you to relax, to scan the body throughout your Shavasana, just noticing any points where you can mindfully release the muscles, soften them, and just feel them letting go. That's one way to help relax not just the body, but also the mind and the spirit through that process. You can also just keep the attention focused on your breathing pattern. Just know that if thoughts come to mind, we're just going to let them pass through, make note of them, but we don't attach to them, we don't judge them, we just let them come and then let them go. Because your only job for the next few minutes is just to be and breathe. And I will let you know when to come back to full awareness. Just be and breathe. Let's start to bring a little movement into the fingers and the toes. Feel the breath deepening. Go ahead and make some circles with the ankles and the wrists. And gently rock your hips and your head from side to side. Bringing a little movement back into the body, we can reach the arms up overhead and press out through the hands, press out through the soles of the feet. And let's keep our eyes closed as we bring the arms back down toward the body. We're going to bend the knees and just, if you have a bolster or a pillow, just kind of scoot that out of the way with your feet. Go ahead and roll over onto your right side. Use your arm for a pillow underneath your head. And take a full breath cycle there in that loose fetal position. Again, we're going to keep our eyes closed as long as we can. Go ahead and use the arms and hands to press you back up to a seated position. Whatever seated position you started in, whatever's most comfortable. And then just take a moment to notice how the mind, the state of mind or the emotions may have shifted or changed a bit since we started practice. Take notice if you can feel any physical differences within the body since we started practice. And begin to recognize the strength of your body, your mind, and your spirit. All three support one another. And when we do these practices, we're building resilience in all three. And together they help us to take care of ourselves and others and all of the to-dos that we need to accomplish on any given day. So we want to just acknowledge and express gratitude toward our body, our mind, and our spirit for carrying us through our life, through each and every day, helping us to care for ourselves and one another. Let's take our hands together at prayer position at the heart. And I like to close practice with that chant of Om. It's also a reminder of the divine light that resides within each of us, that connects us to one another and to every other living being, as well as being that gentle vagus nerve, toner, and a gentle vibration up the spine to help with energy flow. So let's take an inhale, and if you'd like to join me with Om on the exhale. We'll bring our thumbs to rest on our forehead. May we have peace in our thoughts. And then bring the thumbs down to the lips. May we have peace in our words. Finally, resting the thumbs right against the heart space again. May we have peace in our hearts. The light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. And I bow as I say Namaste. Thank you so much for being here to practice with me. I really hope that this practice has brought some peace and tranquility into your day or your evening. And I hope that you will carry that peace and tranquility with you throughout the rest of your day and into any spaces that you enter. And I look forward to practicing with you again here soon. Namaste.